everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a head-to-head comparison or competition between two of the most talked about cities in the US, Dallas, Texas versus Seattle, Washington. As we've done in our other videos, we don't just want to say it depends on what you like. If you're thinking of moving to or from one of these cities, then you need more than it just depends to decide. So we're going to give you real data points to help you make your decision. Let's look at weather, cost of living, job opportunities, lifestyle, politics, and more to figure out which is better and why. I'm Elias and this is Beth. Let's jump right into it.
Well, let's kick things off with the weather because, first of all, it's my favorite subject. And let's be honest, this can make or break your day-to-day life. We're going to start with the negatives. Dallas is known for its scorching hot summers with temperatures easily hitting over 100 degrees many days in a row. This year has been strangely mild, but you're still looking at temperatures in the upper 90s every day for a few months. Now, Seattle, where I did live for a while also, on the other hand, it's famous for rain. It rains a lot, about 150 days a year, and it seems like more. But it's not the torrential kind of rain, more like a steady drizzle. So on the one hand, you have too much sun, and on the other hand, not enough sun. Which brings us to the positive aspects of each city's weather. Dallas is hot, yes, but it's extremely sunny. Sunshine is a close second to a good night's sleep and a healthy diet. It's just really good for you. So if you're someone who feels like their mood improves with the sunshine, then Dallas is going to be much more appealing. But the appeal of Seattle is its beautiful summers. A prime temperature of 75 degrees paired with beautiful snow-capped mountains and crisp lakes make for a pretty fantastic few months. So if you love sunshine, Dallas wins. But if you prefer milder, cooler summers, Seattle might be more your vibe. For this category, we're going to give the first point to Dallas over Seattle. We just think what the sunshine does for one's general well-being outweighs the benefits of a few months of great weather in Seattle. If you disagree with us, feel free to tell us why in the comments. However, there's a related topic to weather, and that's the natural beauty. And let's be real, this isn't really even a competition. Seattle is by far the prettier city of the two. It's so obvious, in fact, that we're just going to give Seattle a point and move on with the next topic. That makes it Dallas 1 and Seattle 1.
All right, let's talk money. This is almost as obvious as a nature discussion, but let's dig into the details a little bit more. Dallas has a much lower cost of living compared to Seattle. Housing in Dallas is far more affordable. You can get a spacious home in the suburbs like Plano or McKinney for a fraction of what you'd pay for a smaller home in Seattle's suburbs like Bellevue or Redmond. On average, home prices in Seattle are about 60 to 70% higher than in Dallas. Rent? Same story. To get specific, Seattle's housing market has exploded to a median home price around $880,000, while Dallas sits around $450,000. Renting a one-bedroom apartment now averages about $2,200 per month, whereas that price is more than half for Dallas. The tech boom really drove up these prices by about the same percentage as Dallas, but since it started with higher prices already, they've already reached LA and New York levels. Utilities, groceries, and entertainment costs are also slightly higher than Dallas, but to be fair, these things are all pennies on the dollar compared to the real issue. The only real issue with Seattle that makes the cost of living so much higher than Dallas is the cost of housing. It's just completely out of control. So, if you're curious, overall, some recommend budgeting around $3,400 per month for a single adult to live in Seattle. That's almost identical to LA and 25 to 30% higher than Dallas, which some say sits around $2,800 per month. So even if you include the fact that average salaries in Seattle are higher compared to Dallas, because the cost of living is so much lower, Dallas remains the cheaper option. Okay, in terms of cost of living, Dallas wins by a fair margin. Dallas 2, Seattle 1.
All right, when it comes to job opportunities, both cities are major players in the US. Dallas is a business hub with a thriving economy in industries like finance, healthcare, and technology. Big names like AT&T, Southwest Airlines, and American Airlines are headquartered here. Plus, Dallas has no state income tax. That is a huge bonus. Seattle, on the other hand, is home to giants like Amazon, Microsoft, and Boeing, making it one of the few cities better for tech than Dallas. Overall, if you're in tech, Seattle has the edge by a bit. But if you want a more diverse range of industries with lower taxes, Dallas would be the winner. Plus, the Dallas Metroplex beats the Seattle Metroplex in two major categories. First, Dallas has the 5th largest GDP in the US, while Seattle sits at number 11. Second, the Dallas Metroplex has created more than double the jobs that Seattle has in the past year. So for those wanting to move specifically for new job opportunities, Dallas is the place for you. So that puts Dallas at 3 and Seattle at 1.
So now let's talk recreation and lifestyle. Dallas offers a bustling nightlife, a diverse food scene, and some of the best sports teams in the country. Cowboys, Mavericks, Stars, Rangers, FC Dallas, take your pick. It's also a very family-friendly city with tons of parks and entertainment for kids. Seattle is perfect for those who love the outdoors. You've got hiking, kayaking, and skiing just a short drive away. And if you're into coffee, well, this is Starbucks' hometown, so you're never far from a cup of joe. When it comes down to it, the beauty of Seattle is really hard to beat. If you're all about nature and outdoor activities, Seattle has the edge. But if you're more into urban living, professional sports, and sunny days, Dallas is the way to go. This choice, more than most, is going to be really subjective. Because if you specifically care a lot more about outdoor sports or specialty coffees, you're going to pick Seattle 10 times out of 10. But because we've already given Seattle a point for its natural beauty, we're going to have to pick Dallas for overall recreation. Dallas 4, Seattle still 1.
All right, well, we're going to move on to culture and diversity. Both Dallas and Seattle offer rich cultural experiences, but in different ways. Certain areas of Dallas retain the more traditional Southern charm, while other parts have a strong emphasis on history and the arts. The Arts District is the largest urban arts district in the US, and Dallas celebrates its diversity through food, festivals, and events. One especially important thing to note, the massive increase in diverse job opportunities has brought with it a workforce that's equally diverse. International immigration to Dallas is at an all-time high, which is of course bringing diversity in culture and food. Seattle leans more progressive with a big focus on sustainability and environmentalism. You'll find a strong indie music scene, iconic spots like Pike Place Market, and more modern, eco-friendly vibes. It's also incredibly diverse, especially within the tech community. But here's the interesting aspect that people don't really talk about much: diversity of ideologies. We believe it's important to be around people who don't just physically look different from you, but also people who think far differently from you. In this case, anecdotal evidence would say Dallas is the more diverse of the two cities. In terms of political opinions, you'll easily find both the progressives and conservatives in Dallas. Because they're constantly around people who disagree with them, they also tend to be less adamant about their views. In Seattle, it's going to be a bit harder to find many on the conservative side of the discussion. So whereas both cities are blue cities, most people find that Dallas is quite moderate in its views compared to other areas in Texas and the rest of the US. In a country that tends to have strong biases, one way or the other, Dallas can be quite the breath of fresh air. So with all of that, Dallas 5, Seattle 1.
Now to traffic. Both cities have traffic, no getting around that. Dallas is known for sprawling highways, and if you live in the suburbs, you might find yourself in long commutes. Public transportation exists, but we don't really recommend you use it. If you're moving to Dallas, buy a car. That's just the way it is. Seattle also has traffic, but it has far more options for getting around. The city has a decent public transit system, including buses, a light rail, and even ferries. Plus, and this is probably the point to highlight most for Seattle, it is extremely bike-friendly. Weather isn't always conducive to that, as we've seen, but when it is, this can be a great way to get around. So for this one, we give the point to Seattle. Dallas 5, Seattle 2. So which city is better? Honestly, we do believe Dallas is better for individual and families' overall satisfaction and their well-being. But there will always be a subjective aspect to these questions. If you want affordable housing, sunny weather, and a thriving economy with lower taxes, Dallas is your place. But if you're more into cooler weather, tech opportunities, and outdoor adventures, Seattle is likely your best bet. No matter which city you choose, both have incredible things to offer. After all, there's a reason both cities are booming right now. Let us know in the comments, do you agree or disagree with our 5-2 score and why? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more content like this. See you in the next video.